guest with me today who's a Reiki master teacher and practitioner, an animal communicator, and also an angel communicator as well. I think she's going to correct me on that later. But she's wonderful, and thank you for joining me, Janet Jackson, on the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's start with, how long have people been talking to angels? There are angels in just about every culture, or some kind of spirit being. So before we even get into it, how long have people been talking to angels? Where do we find them, and what are they?
Well, there are many different types of angels, and the angels are winged messengers. They're helpers, they're assistants, they're assistants of God. And I think they've been around since mankind has been here. We have always had angels around us. It's not something that we hear about all the time, but I think it's becoming more and more popular. The angels are waiting. Angels of God are waiting for us to ask them for assistance and help. We were never really meant to do this worldly life all alone without help from God and the angels. And for some reason, I don't know, I think we've all gotten the impression that we needed to try to do our lives and do this walk of life alone without help. And it's kind of a silly concept when you think about it, because there are so many angels waiting for us to ask for assistance. We were never meant to do this alone. One of the things that I found when I started working with angels more and more and more, the more I worked with them, the more they showed up, the more they spoke, the more they sent me signs. And it was like they were my biggest cheerleaders in life, and they were there to support me and comfort me and nurture me and help me heal in many ways and in many aspects of my life. And once I saw just how much they helped me and my clients, I started to share that information with people. And I started to read this book, Divine Prescriptions by Doreen Virtue. And that book really, I really took off with my angel work after I read that. And the angels would come when I would do healing sessions with my clients. And they would just bring a little message, just maybe a sentence, for me to share with my clients. And I'd be like, okay. So I would tell my client that, and they would just be so moved when they got that one sentence message that they would say, oh, that was something I needed to hear. I really needed to hear that, and it changed their outlook and the way they thought of themselves. And it changed the way they felt alone no longer. Mm-hmm. They knew that there were angels out there. And so people start, my clients, my students start working with angels, and it's amazing. They just change your life. And so there's a number of different kinds of angels. We all have guardian angels. Mm-hmm. And these are angels that you're born with, but these are angels that have never incarnated on earth. So in other words, they've never lived as human beings.
Now, that was one of my questions. You've already answered it. Could an angel be someone who lives as a human being? But go ahead.
And they can be. That's just a different category.
Okay, so back to the archangels.
Yeah. So we have the guardian angels, and these angels are there to comfort you and to help bring guidance and support and nurturing to your life. I find that most people nowadays have two guardian angels. And these angels are with you all the time. And then whenever you're going through challenges in your life, you usually get another angel to help you. For example, when you first become a mother, often an angel will come to help you with that. Or if you change vocations. Mm-hmm. So I have a special team of angels that help me in my work with my clients and my students because I love to teach.
Mm-hmm. I wish that, I'm a mother of 4. It would have been nice to know that the angels were there, because I would imagine that they're guiding and helping. But if you acknowledge and readily accept or ask for the help, you're probably much better off. Am I right?
Yes, and there's a thing on earth called the law of free will. And that law states that we as human beings have the right to do things at our free will. Mm-hmm. And we have the right to do things alone or to ask for help. And the way I can best describe it is, it's like all the angels are standing around waiting by the pool just to be asked. Mm-hmm. So because of the law of free will, angels don't normally intervene in our lives unless we ask. Unless, of course, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You've heard about people who have been in car accidents, right, and it was like someone picked them up out of the car and put them over in the grass to keep them safe, right, from harm.
And people even have photographs of car accident scenes where you can see the outline.
Yeah. Now that's
angelic.
Exactly. And that's a time when an angel will intervene when, it's not your time to go, mm-hmm, or you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Otherwise, though, they're there comforting us and supporting us and guiding us. But if we ask, then that opens up a whole door of opportunity and a way to change your life for the better. Angels really want to help us with all this daily bothersome stuff, mm-hmm, so that we can get on with our mission in life, yeah, and not get bogged down by everything. So you can ask angels for help for everything that you do. There are so many different types of angels. So let's talk about the four most famous archangels, because okay, I love working with archangels a lot. There's Archangel Michael, and I'm sure most people have heard of him.
Right.
And he's a protector. He can help infuse you with strength and support. And one of my favorite sayings is, Archangel Michael, please stand above me, below me, to the right of me, left of me, in front of me, and behind me, guarding and protecting me and this sacred space. And he comes. And I'm not kidding you. He's like the bouncer angel. If there are any unsavory people or energies around you, you surround yourself in a little bubble of light for protection and ask Archangel Michael to guide you, mm-hmm, and to protect you, and he will. Mm-hmm. I've seen him do some amazing things. So that's one of the angels that most people have heard about.
Right.
And then there's Archangel Raphael, and he is the Archangel of Healing. And I always ask him to bring a league of healing angels of God to help me in my healing practice. Mm-hmm. Now, a league of angels is 144,000 angels.
That's a lot of angels.
And they come.
How many leagues are there?
Oh, as many as you want. I mean,
there's infinite angels?
Well, it's interesting because sometimes when I work with my clients and we call in the angels, and then if my client works with angels and they call in the angels, it's like there's layers of them, rows and, mm-hmm, rows and rows and rows. So when you call on them, they do come, and they do want to help us. So Archangel Raphael is the Archangel of Healing, and he also helps to protect travelers.
Okay.
And then there's Archangel Gabriel. Now I think of Gabriel and the first three letters of his name, G-A-B, mm-hmm, Gab.
Yeah.
So that helps me remember. He is the Archangel of Communication. So he's wonderful if you are a teacher or a speaker or a writer and you, okay, need to communicate.
Okay.
So
Gabriel. On Gabriel a little more
Gabby,
often.
Yeah. Gab. And then there's Archangel Uriel, and he's very beneficial because he can bring harmony to chaotic situations. Mm-hmm. And boy, don't we all have a lot of chaotic situations in our lives?
I don't know anyone with chaos, really. Yes. Yes.
And a lot of that chaos happens in our close relationships with family and friends and coworkers. Mm-hmm. So you can ask Archangel Uriel to be with you every day.
Okay.
All the time. So there are also a number of specialist angels. And this kind of blows your mind when you think about it. So there are romance angels that can help you to find a mate, the mate that's appropriate for you. He can also help you in an existing relationship, like a boyfriend or a marriage, mm-hmm, to bring some more romance into your life and open up more lines of communication and such. There are real estate angels. So if you're going to sell your house or buy a house, ask the real estate angels to help you.
Really?
Yeah.
Real estate angels.
Honestly. And they help. They do. It works. There's finance angels, there's bookkeeping angels, there's accounting angels. So if you need more money in your life, you can ask the money angels, the finance angels to help you with that.
I would think after this show airs, the money angels are going to be pretty busy.
They're going to be busy.
Pretty busy. I think so. So that leads me to, we covered the 4 archangels. Right,
Yes.
that you went to.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about asking
Mm-hmm.
and bringing them into your life. How does someone who's never been touched by an angel, talked to an angel, thought to ask an angel, how do you even begin that? What is there something special you need to say or do, or how's that work?
It's so simple. You don't have to meditate or sit in silence and prayer like to get the angels to help you. However, it does help if you can spend a little time each day in meditation or prayer, just to keep yourself centered, to keep your mind clear. However, you talk to the angels the way you and I are talking.
Mm-hmm.
And you speak to them in your own words, in your own language. So what I recommend that people do, I always invite people to just put out a blanket purchase order and ask the angels of God to help me every day in every way. Okay. Angels of God, help me every day in every way. And before you know it, you'll start to feel them around you. Mm-hmm. And they give off the most beautiful presence of love mm-hmm. and comfort and safety. Mm-hmm. And you feel, the more you work with them, the more you can feel them there. You will know that they're there in a number of different ways. There are a number of different ways that we recognize their presence. And that's based on our own intuition, which is natural. Mm-hmm. So I'll talk about the 4 ways that we get our intuitive information.
I think that would be helpful for everyone.
So there's the first one is clairvoyance. Mm-hmm. And that's when you see pictures and images in your mind. The angels also will send you signs, like maybe a feather or a penny, or you can ask the angels, send me a sign that I'm doing the right thing here, please. And you, like, for example, last night, before I was getting some laundry ready and whatnot, there was a penny in the washing machine at the very bottom. And that's never happened to me before. And I just went, okay, pennies from heaven, thanks, guys. I always say thanks, guys, because I talk to them like,
right.
every day.
And should we show gratitude for the help that we receive?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And the more gratitude you express, the more grateful you are. The angels, God and the angels see that as your statement of, yes, I'd like more of this, please. Mm-hmm. Please send me more things to be grateful for. Right. Okay, so we have clairvoyance. Yes. And then there's clairaudience, which means you can hear sounds or words from the angels. So you may actually hear them speak to you, or you may hear sounds that remind you that they're there. You might hear a song. You might wake up in the morning with a song in your head. Sometimes they communicate to us that way. And if that happens, pay close attention to what the words are.
I find that happens to me a lot, and especially in the last 3 months. And not just a song, but that song, and then a song after, and a song after. And they will all be connected by their content, by the words that are in there. And it is unmistakable. It is almost as if they know that you've got to give me like 3 in order to make me believe, because I'm a little bit of a hard head, even with all the spiritual work I do and everything else. You kind of have to put it in my face that, yes, we're here. And I have to tell you, I was skeptical. I've known you for quite a while now. You're a dear friend. When you started talking to me about angels, I went, I'm glad that that's a good thing for you, right? I'm glad that she likes angels. And I was very skeptical. And there was a moment in one of the classes I was taking that we were doing a meditation, and I met an angel. And still, in meditation, being skeptical, I'm going to tell you, I was skeptical. I asked the angel, if you're real and this is really happening, and it was a great healing. I felt like I was in the wings of an angel, and childhood things were disappearing and melting away. And I said, tell me your name so that I know you're real. And I received the name. And I committed it to memory, and I went home and looked it up, and sure enough, the angel Athena was there, and that is kind of one of the callings, is helping people with that hurt. From what I read, is, healing childhood trauma and past things. And I thought, now there's no longer skepticism. So I've embraced this and am kind of instituting this slowly, this daily, asking the angels. And I have to admit, it works. It works. I don't know how, but it works. So
it really does.
It does. And I've gotten us off track. So clairvoyance.
That's okay.
Yes. I know
so we had clairvoyant, clairaudient, then we have clairsentience. And clairsentience is feeling emotions, feeling feelings. So you might just start to feel that the angels are around you, or you might start to sense something in your physical body. And then there's claircognizance. And claircognizance is a sudden knowingness. You know how you've said sometimes, I just knew that was the right thing to do, or I just knew that that was the wrong thing to do. Right. And so the angels can communicate to us in those ways, and others. Like I said, they'll put songs in our head. They'll put dreams in our mind. Often they do like helping people through their dreams. Because when we're sleeping, our mind is clear, and it's easier for them to get through to us, because we have so much going on up here in our minds. And sometimes the angels try to connect with us and bring a message, but they get like a busy signal because there's so many thoughts there.
Right.
So that's why I say it's really good if you can spend a little time each day in meditation and prayer. Now, there's a difference between prayer and meditation. Prayer is us doing the talking and the asking, right?
Right.
Meditation is when we're sitting in silence so that some information can come.
Okay.
Now, we don't worship angels. Angels don't want to be worshipped. We can pray with them. They help our prayers be delivered so much more quickly. And they can be realized more quickly. So it's always nice to be able to have prayers and meditation as part of your life. However, as I said earlier, you don't have to be meditating to ask for help. You can just be driving down the road and you can say, angels of God, and I always say angels of God because you want to be particular on who you call on. Angels of God, help me get there safely, and help me speak clearly, and help me speak from the heart, or whatever it is. Help me with this interview, help me with this project, help me with my children. Oh, and another really good one, you'll like this one, is let's say you have someone in your life, like a partner, a husband, a coworker, a family member, and maybe you really need to talk something over with them, but you don't know how receptive they'll be. And you really want to open the lines of communication. What I do is I ask my guardian angel to talk to their guardian angel and let the guardian angel help them to say, oh, so-and-so's going to be talking to you today, and, open up your mind, open up your heart, listen. And so their guardian angel can help with that. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
I call that going in the side door.
So you're kind of, you're connecting, kind of like, I really do like that. You're
That's
communicating on a very different level then.
Yes.
You're getting messages across outside of all of the chatter that goes on in our conscious mind and even subconscious mind then, right?
Yes.
You're getting to the heart much quicker.
It's a great technique when you have teenagers.
Right. Speaking of, I might have to talk to you more about that one and see if I can get some help on that. But speaking of that, you've received messages that allowed you to basically co-create the hug technique and the hug classes. So does that encompass all of what you've been talking about today? Is there more to that? How did that come to you?
Well, that's one way that working with the angels can really be beneficial. Okay, so in my Reiki practice, I have clients that are very sick. Some are very sick, some are very stressed out. And I like to pray when I do work with someone. And so I would ask the angels, I would ask God and the angels, oh God, please fill this person with the grace of healing or the grace of strength. And, we're familiar with several of the graces we've learned.
Right.
And the angels said to me, ask for the universal grace of God. And I was like, what? And they said,
right?
And they said, the universal grace of God contains all the graces that are available to mankind on the planet Earth that you guys didn't even really know about. And I went, okay. So I started to ask for the universal grace of God to fill the person. And then I was asking God and the angels to help me find ways to help clear emotions and stress and old energies from people. We hold so much anger and resentment and
it pops back
so
up
much
and rears its ugly head.
Yes,
at the most, inopportune times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so many people have grief and so I'm asking the angels, show me a way to help me help them. And so they started to, I've studied a number of different healing modalities as well. So they started to really show me. And so we have this whole routine we do. And my friend Kathy and Duffy, who has Energy Connection, she's the director there and I'm the co-director.
Mm-hmm.
So she works with angels too. So we started comparing notes and it was like, wow, they were helping us both in very similar ways. And the angels had asked for, they said, can you anchor this universal grace of God on planet Earth to help heal the planet, help heal everyone?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sure.
Right.
So Kathy and I got to talking and we said we have to share this with people. So we developed what's called HUGG, H-U-G-G. Kathy named that. I think that's a great name. H-U-G-G, Healing with the Universal Grace of God. And that's exclusive to Energy Connection, and we teach that together. And that's an angel healing method that you can use for yourself, for others, for animals, and you can send it at a distance. And it's like a 4-hour class.
Right.
You can learn all of that.
Yeah, I'm signing up. I'm going to come and learn more.
Well, once I started doing this hug healing mixed with the Reiki healing that I do them both together.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started doing that, my clients were experiencing some of the most amazing healings and some of the most amazing inner reflections and inner, just different perspectives. And it's been very, very profound. So my point is, that would have never happened if I hadn't asked the angels for help.
That's
beautiful. So that helped me with my life purpose, which is helping people. But the angels can help you as much as you want. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that limits you is the size of cup you hold to be filled. In other words, if you want angel blessings, you can say, okay, I'm going to hold up this little Dixie cup. Can you fill up this little Dixie cup with angel blessings? Or I'm going to give you a 2-gallon jug here. Can you fill that up with angel blessings? Well, what are you going to pick? You're going to pick the big jug, right? Well, most of the time we only pick the Dixie cup. Fill up, my little Dixie cup with some miracles and angel blessings and things like that when we can have much more. To the angels, the size of your request doesn't matter. They can help you find a parking place when you're in a hurry, as well as help move a mountain. I mean, it's very profound when you think about it, but when you ask the angels of God to go before you and with God lead the way, it's amazing the cool stuff that happens. It changes your life. And all you have to do is ask. You can just say, angels of God, help me every day in every way. That puts out your blanket purchase order to the angels to help you. Right. And then you can also ask with specific things. Right.
Well, I wish we had more time because I think we could talk about the angels much more in depth. I'm going to invite everyone to check out your website at theenergyconnection.net and find out more about your work and the angels. And I'm going to leave my audience with that question. What if you take the big cup and ask the angels for help?